guys. Welcome back to Diner Talks,
Welcome back, guys.
episode 3.
Good to be back. Episode
Yes.
3.
3.
All right.
Wow, here we are, guys. Not a lot to catch up
Report.
on this month, guys. It's basically been the build still happening with the van. Good news is that we've gone beyond just painting and doing odd end jobs on the thing, and doing electrical work. We've gotten the van into Burmarad group now, so that was a big part of the delay. They
yes.
couldn't take it in for a while, and we really needed the next stage done by then, before we move on with the final week of things once it comes out. So
And we really wanted them.
yeah,
They're the
look,
best.
we
At all
did.
these builds.
We didn't initially start with them in mind when we started in March, taking time off. And you remember we said we were taking time off initially to sort things out with mum and dad, and we said we'll use this time to do the work on the van that we were planning to do anyway. Lucky we started earlier than we were planning to start, because it did take longer, and now we're going to be ready for hopefully the start of summer.
Yeah.
You know, just maybe late June. Summer really starts around the 22nd, I think, of June. We've been, I think we heard recently, or we read something about that. So, yeah, hopefully we're in time for the early beginning of summer, guys, and we can go hard then and keep showing up. So, planning to do 6-day weeks once we return. So you'll see a lot of us all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You'll probably get sick of us.
That's good.
I hope not.
No.
But yeah, so that's basically it, guys. We're waiting on that. Hopefully, it'll come out around the third week of June, and then we'll do it. We still need to then put cameras and speakers on signs back onto the van. We need a lacquer and protect the paint job and
Yeah. There's
finish
still a lot
electrical.
of running around. Even going
Yeah.
back and forth with Boomerang as well, because we need to go discuss certain things with them, what we want, what we don't want, this and that. So we're back and forth, and we're doing a lot behind the scenes as well, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, with that, like, there's materials to discuss and corners and openings, and for certain other jobs to get done later on. There's a lot that's involved, and we're learning a lot. Hey, this has been a really great time, though, guys. We're getting a lot of things done. We had a massive to-do list, business things that, as we were going on along the years, things, we've got to do that. We've got to get clear about these things, and we've got to do a deep dive into this area, and I want us to learn this thing, this system totally. Even things like the FPOS system that we're using now, and this and that, and the financials.
Lightspeed.
We've used this time to sharpen things and to envision the future a little bit more, and get clearer on that, get clearer on who we are as a business and what we want to do and what the goals are, and getting systems in place. It's been really cool.
Clarity is good.
Yeah.
It helps. It really helps, doesn't it?
The rest as well, the shutdown from even the public service, sometimes it's been good to just kind of get quiet a bit and get off that treadmill kind of a thing. We felt like it was a big thing we're on, and we'll soon be back into that day-to-day doing business thing. So it's been good to just get off that a little bit.
But it's going to help as well, because the van is actually going to be the way we've envisioned it to be for a long time. So it's going to be a lot better for us getting back in there, getting back out there, and serving, and But we're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, guys, and we're testing recipes, and we're trying a few things that we want the best for you guys. So we're experimenting.
We've got the new carpet yarning machines that we're figuring out as well. There are
The
science as well
Ferraris.
behind them, and the way they work, and the steps involved, and making sure you're doing it all correctly. So, they're like Ferraris in the in that world of equipment, ice cream making equipment. So we're excited, guys. That Sunday, with the soft serve recipe of ours will be out as well. So just hang in there, guys. We've also been changing the t-shirts and the hats, like the merch gear that we have during this time. Hey,
Yes.
we're doing a different. We're adding some back print, the zero regrets, which is one of our
hashtags.
most
that we love to
important.
use.
I'd say hashtags that we really live by and try to live by anyway. Zero regrets. Try and live a life that has zero regrets at the end.
Yeah.
Go hard at what you do. Dream big and live bigger. So that's the whole zero regrets thing. And we're getting a smaller logo now.
Yeah,
We're trying to
we're
get away
experimenting.
from the big one and
Yeah.
experimenting the little one. There's another GJ's logo we'd like to work with as well. That's been fun. We get to be a bit creative and get to see how we want the brand to kind of get put out there as well. It's
A
mad.
few different colours too. We're experimenting with.
I saw it.
So-
Thank you for the people who did
Yes.
vote on the poll we put out there. The hat colors, the green went surprisingly really well.
Well, I thought it was a really nice colour actually.
It was.
Than
It is.
what we had previously.
Unfortunately, we've heard from our supplier that they actually are not making that color at the moment. They had said it was available, but then they told us it wasn't.
It's a shame.
So yeah, the red and the black got voted a lot. There's another one we're looking at. The colors aren't set in stone yet, guys. There's a red and blue and white one, like the red bill, I think, and the blue netting with the white kind of cushion bit in the front. That looks pretty cool. That
Yeah,
might be
really-
the new branded
really like that one.
Gemma Joe style color one. And then, I think the black's got to come back. Maybe the baby blue, the navy blue is one we're thinking about as well, like a darker blue or the royal blue.
Pastel blue, yeah. That did well as
The
well.
baby blue is that
That's good.
pastel blue, yeah. That did really well, that one. But let us know, guys, in the comments whether you're seeing a snippet or something on Instagram or TikTok or watching the full
What's your favourite
episode. Yeah, on YouTube. Let us know, what's your favorite color? What color would you like to see out there? There was the hot pink, or the baby pink, sorry. Yeah. There was the red we had in the past. There was a yellow and the white that didn't do too well on the polls. In the T-shirts, the white is very popular, guys, so we're going to bring in a lot of them. So thanks for
I really
that.
like the red and the white. But I think the new blue...
The red and the white, you're talking about the hat still,
Yeah,
though.
the hat. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that
And
one's...
the blue, red and white one I think is going to be my new fave though. Looks
gonna be
cool.
sporting one of those ones
I think
for
you're
sure.
going to like it. It's good.
The tees, guys. There's also the black tee and the navy tee, so they kind of were even, but the white's definitely the classic white color.
Yeah. Goes with everything.
We've been doing that, guys. So that's the month that was pretty much, and our goals for the month ahead is get this build done and get back out onto the road.
Our main
Get back
concentration.
out there and open.
Yeah. It's to get back out there, you're right. And
One of the questions we got today, actually, from one of our followers on Instagram was, when are you guys actually going to open? Good question.
Yeah, it is. We've been asked it a lot.
No
but,
clear answer yet.
But it is happening. We can,
Like we said,
you can rest assured, it is happening.
It should happen this month now, guys. Late
what?
this month
That's
if it
the
does.
goal.
Yeah.
We're going to open. That's it.
Early July latest, I reckon. So
Lay it
fingers
down.
crossed, guys.
Yes.
Hang in there.
We're working on it, guys. So
All right, moving on. We're doing our throwback segment again. Remember, we said we're going to sometimes talk about growing up Maltese as a throwback, and sometimes we're going to go back and discuss road trip memories and stories.
things we love and enjoy.
Yeah, on the road anyway.
Being on the road.
And this week is that, guys, and we've decided we're going to share the story of our first cross-country road trip. It wasn't our first US road trip, and definitely wasn't our, obviously, first road trip anywhere. It was we had done a few by then. We had done one big one in New Zealand and some in Australia.
Yes.
We had already done
The old
West.
Outback.
Yes.
New Zealand was
early-
fun though.
Early years, yeah.
Very mountainous.
Catch a ferry, and then we did a road trip around the South Island there. But this one happened in 2013, guys. So we're talking about 13 years ago.
Already.
Yeah, time flies. It was the beginning of a new era for both of us, really. Well, Steve, you had been living in New York by then for about, this was your third year?
Yeah.
Or second year,
Second year, because 2011 in April.
Yeah, we had been there together in 2011, and then I went back home for a little while and
Back to Sydney.
Yeah, was back there for a little while, a couple of years while Steve remained in New York, and then I had gone back in 2013 in July and reunited with Steve-O back in the States.
Long Island.
I had activated my green card, and it was an exciting time. Before that, for me, America was a thing where I was there on visas. I was there on a B1, B2 visa. I had been there on a student visa before. This was the first time I was entering as a green card holder, and I was activating it. So it was an exciting trip in that year, and it was exciting to reunite with Steve, and we were both in New York again, living in Long Island by that time.
Long Island, yes. We were in Bed-Stuy. We were in just out in Brooklyn, actually.
Yeah,
in the first year.
We had lived in Brooklyn together, and then 2 years later, when I had gone back to New York, Steve had moved to Long Island.
Long Island, yeah.
And
I had joined a band, and all the members were all out that way, so I ended up just joining them out there, and it was great.
Might
it was
as well.
very easy. Yeah, rehearsals were out there, everything was out there, so it was certainly easier, and it felt like you're in suburbia, which was fun.
Yeah, it was nice. Look, it was nice for me to reunite with New York again, but the goal for me was always to get to LA during this trip. I wanted to live in LA. I had been to LA. I had never really lived there. I'd lived in New York only, and the goal was I needed to get a car, because you can't live in LA without a car. It's a bit tough.
That's right.
This was, I don't think there was really Uber and that happening much back then either. There wasn't a lot of it. No. There wasn't a lot of taxi.
Classic taxis,
yeah.
But not
classic taxis, if I'm remembering correctly. So it was a bit of a pain to be in LA without a car. So, so I had gotten to New York. The goal was because I had a green card, I could get a job, and I worked in some bars, and some restaurants and clubs, and saved up, and we bought this car by the end of the year. Or I bought this car by the end of the year. This old Hyundai, they call it. In Australia, we call them Hyundai, but in America they say Hyundai. Hyundai. I think it was an Accent or Elantra. I think the first one was. Yeah, it was an Elantra. And I still remember that guy rocking up with that Hyundai, and we were in some area in Brooklyn, I think, when we picked it up.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, and it was like, all right, I've got a car. I'm going to move to LA and pursue my acting dreams. And Steve was like, man, I want to go back to LA as well.
I was on a break because it's getting into cooler months as well. So
that's right. I was about to say it was getting into winter. By that time, it was already very cold in New York. I remember we were getting the car ready.
Get out of the cold.
Yeah.
It was freezing.
We were getting the car ready for the road, and we were out there. And
you want to come to LA? Yeah, let's go.
It was funny. That trip was like, we had talked about doing a cross-country road trip, and we wanted it to be like a New York to LA or LA to New York.
Yeah.
And it was finally able to happen, and we weren't sure what to expect. So it was a bit of mixed emotions. Hey, we were a bit freaked out about it, not sure what to encounter in the big guts of America. If we were going to encounter even psychos out the sticks somewhere, who knows? We had only really explored the coast and the cities there and done a road trip on the coast. And so, we were going into the guts farmlands and the guts of the state, the mountains. And so we weren't sure what to expect, but we were also excited about that. There were places we had marked down to see along the way, and we had a route planned out. This one we said we were going to go through like the northern middle guts of it, man. So
how many days did we have in that first one?
That one was, we did it over 10 days.
10 days.
And we spent 5 days in Colorado. So we could have done it faster.
But no.
And we were gunning it. But we had a good trip, and we relaxed in Colorado. That was a big one on the list to get to. Big city. We had good friends there that opened up their homes to us. The Ramseys.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Aaron and
wonderful
Tonya Ramsey. Lots of love to you guys.
And the kids.
And the kids.
Big family now.
Yeah. Getting bigger the fam. Awesome. But so we spent 5 days there. That kind of extended the trip. But yeah, we could have probably done it in 6 or 7.
But it's great to be able to extend it. If you can do it in a longer time, obviously that's the way to do it. But
100%. And sometimes and don't do it too fancy, man. Stop off at the motel. Feel like you're in a movie. Meet people, kind of become a local if you can for that day.
it's a good way to do it, to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was an amazing trip. We had people telling us that car is not going to make it. Don't do it now. It's dangerous. And look, I had done road trips in winter after that year in 2014 and many years later, even 2018, 19, and I had encountered some bad weather in winter, man. But during this trip in 2013 of December, we were blessed. Hey, we had a mad run.
Well, we're given a blessing by the mechanic as well.
Look, the mechanic did say it was going to make it.
And he said it's fine. So,
and those cars,
that's all that matters.
Are pretty good, man. But to give you a bit of a rundown on that trip, we met up with a good family friend who we met in Australia, Dan Lewis, who was living and working in Columbus, Ohio at the time.
That's
so
right.
during that trip, we left New York early hours in the morning. I remember just being on bridges and highways, and all of a sudden we were spat out.
Yeah.
And we were out. New York was see ya.
Yeah.
And
New
it was nighttime, and we headed. By the next day, we got into Philadelphia. It was the first time. I believe it was both our first time.
Can you hear that? Dun, 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 dun.
We ran up the stairs, the
Yes.
rocky stairs.
We did the whole
took our picture.
arms in the air
Yeah.
thing. Did the leap.
The Rocky, we did.
You
the
got to be
leap.
a Rocky fan, though. If you're not a
Yeah.
Rocky fan, you won't understand it. But
if you
Go and see it if
search
you
the
haven't.
depths of Instagram, you might find a photo out there of us doing a jump.
the monument.
Yeah,
That was good.
that was awesome. That was special. And then we continued on to Columbus, Ohio, spent a night there with Dan. We got to see the Christmas markets. Hey, then it's a bit of a German vibe there.
Yeah.
And then we
Beautiful.
continued on. We went to James Dean's gravesite in Fairmount, Indiana. That was a massive one for me.
Yeah.
I started doing acting classes around 23 and became aware of James Dean around that age, 24, and was reading his bios. And he inspired me in those early 20 days of mine. There was a lot of things about him that I connected with, and that helped me kind of believe that maybe I could be an actor too. And he wasn't always, he didn't feel like he was always, going to make it, he didn't
Larger
feel like
than
it
life
was,
character.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, he believed in himself. Oh man, it was so inspiring the way he believed in himself. But he had his doubts too, and he had his demons. That guy, I guess, as well. He wasn't just a legend. He was a human being who went out there, pursued a dream that resonated with me in my early 20s, and he inspired me. So he's a big part of my 20s, and he became a part of this business. Hey, we sell the James Dean waffle, croffle.
Exactly.
James Dean is on the car,
Like an
on the
underdog in a
van.
way, just came up and, sure grit and
Short-lived life, but left an impact, and he was pushing the envelope in his field and turning heads, and carving a new way. So we found that very inspiring. I had wanted to see his gravesite for many, many years. It'd been about I was about 30. Well, how old was I at that time? 32 or something, early 30s, 31. So at least 8 years or 9 years as a fan of James Dean. Yeah.
I remember that morning in an IHOP.
Yeah, we went to an
breakfast.
IHOP. Yeah.
There, before we went to the grave, though.
No,
right?
it wasn't IHOP. It was Cracker Barrel.
Oh, Cracker Barrel, sorry, that's right.
Amazing
Cracker
place.
Barrel was amazing.
Yeah, there was an old lady in there that her mother, she worked there in this Cracker Barrel. And this is like, so we're in Midwest here, classic Americana. And this old lady, her mother had been classmates with James Dean back in the 40s, man. It was so cool.
Incredible. Yeah.
And she said to us, make sure after the grave, because we hadn't been to the grave site yet, she confirmed where it was for us. And she said, his high school where he went to in the 40s, 1940s, is just around the corner, and they're about to tear down his school. You can go and grab a brick from it, if you can reach under the gates there and this and that. So we were like, yeah. And we actually went to his school, mate, and grabbed some bricks and had to let go of some as we traveled along the years, But I still have one back home in Sydney.
Look, it was a sombering moment, obviously, seeing the grave there, this larger-than-life character and, to see where he is now. I mean, that was
there was no fanfare anymore.
Yeah.
There was no gate around, no fence around it. It was just his tombstone and the dirt there and some little old flowers and cigarette butts and stuff like that. So it was so almost nothing that it was humbling. And it was an eye-opener too that we all go. And we all get forgotten eventually, and all things come to an end, and sometimes things aren't so big as they seem, and that we're only human at the end, So let's not worship anyone for sure. But it was nice, and it was nice to be so close and think, it was inspiring, especially before going to LA. For me, I was going for acting, so
that significance, So it's a quick little stop, and it was great.
By the way, we went to Dayton, Ohio as well, before Fairmount. After Columbus, Ohio, we went to Dayton, saw that there was the Air Force Aviation Museum.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Amazing.
The old bomber planes and stuff like that. That was cool.
World War I and II, and if you're a bit of a fan of those sort of things. But very interesting.
But then we pretty much after that gunned it through Illinois and the south of Illinois and Missouri, and we had a really cool experience cutting through the border from heading west, obviously now from Missouri into Kansas, the state of Kansas. In between the two states lies Kansas City, kind of almost saddles the two states. I think it's more so within Kansas. And we were like just driving through prairies.
Not a lot happening.
Flat farmland for hours through the day. Eventually got dark and it was just plain darkness out there.
We're just driving like this.
And eventually you see this light and it starts getting bigger. And all of a sudden, mate, what is that? We're on a highway driving through this massive city that
we're
was
talking
just
about 5 million people.
Skyscrapers and and then all of a sudden, boom, we're out of it. We just had cut through. I think it was the I don't know if it was the I-70 still at that time. I can't remember. I need the map.
You do this in Australia. You cut through the guts of Australia. You're going to hit desert. It's like to
for so long.
Yeah,
you won't get a big city like that.
You won't get a big city like that. That's right.
They're all on the coasts. But this was amazing. Kansas City.
It's like a metropolis,
Yeah. And then back to darkness. Yeah. And then the next day, the morning came and we could see the mountains out there. And eventually they got bigger and we were in Colorado. We did 5 days there. That was awesome.
Loved Colorado.
Again, we mentioned with family, friends. We got to go hiking. And
the weather is amazing there too. And is it
it's crisp.
Is it similar to Malta where they say it's about 300 days of sunshine as well?
Similar in that sense.
Yeah.
But the air is thinner. It's more elevated there. It's drier, obviously.
Colder. And
no water around.
No.
Lakes
very
and
mountainous,
stuff.
A lot of lakes and rivers and greenery, and it's.
I believe there's lakes there. I don't want to say that 100%. I'm sure there's lakes in Colorado, but there's definitely rivers there, and mountains and this and that. But no beaches, and it's obviously more humid here. Even though we have they have sunshine.
What was that place we went to? That Manitou
Incline. Manitou Incline, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Was it about a K walk or something?
I think it was 1 mile, I believe, 1.6 kilometers, and it had this incline. I think it was a 2,000 gradient or something, 2,000 meter
a tough one.
Gradient. It goes up in that time.
Didn't you run most of it or something?
I did it. I ran one. I've run it twice, and I think my fastest time was like 38 minutes or something like that. I did it in a
it's
pretty good time. I was
pretty good time, I think,
had
for that.
quite a good level of fitness at the time. Yeah. But then, guys, after that, we headed down from Colorado. We headed south into
Las Vegas.
New Mexico.
yes, into
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
We went into Santa Fe quickly, small little town. That was cool.
Yeah,
We're listening to that song, Santa Fe by
yes.
Beirut.
That's right. Great song.
If you're a fan, you know.
Became our LA song, that one.
Yes. But it was cool to go to Santa Fe and listen to that song.
Walter White.
Yeah, we went to Walter White's home in Albuquerque.
Bad.
Here's the thing. We forgot this part. When I had met up with Steve again in New York, in Long Island, summer of 2013, we were obviously hadn't seen each other in a couple of years, or in a year at least. And we were bonding again, and we were watching Breaking Bad. Steve had already seen the first 4 seasons, I think.
Yeah.
And the 5th one was about to come out. He
times.
convinced me to get into it, and I'm glad he did, because we got into it. Boy, did we get into it.
I think I've seen it around 4 or 5 times, I think.
I haven't seen it that many times. I think I just went through it once.
I went a bit crazy on it, but anyway.
Yeah, but that was cool, awesome. So we had become fans of the show. We ended up watching the last season as well, and became even more so fans. And we went on this road trip. That became a place to go to. So we went there. No pizza on the roof.
No, that's the thing, you know. Yeah.
Where else did we go to, Steve? We went. So we were in New Mexico. Then we went. We continued on to Arizona, and we went to the Grand Canyon.
Yes. Where we saw that footprint.
Yes, we were walking. Don't forget, it was winter, guys. It's December. Snow is around. It was a nice time to go to the Grand Canyon, actually. It looked nice out there.
Beautiful,
we saw this big sign saying, beware of wild cats. And we noticed that it looked like fresh, massive footprints of like cat prints, mountain lions.
Yeah.
And it looked like it had climbed the edge of this steep cliff.
We just looked at each other.
Things are on another level. And we're
back in the car.
I've seen enough of the Grand Canyon. I'm going inside.
Yeah, mate. I think we're going back in the car.
And we exited. So then we went to Las Vegas, and saw all the noise and the glitz and the glamour of Las Vegas, but not a big fan
massive,
of the place.
What do you call those water fountain things?
Yeah, Bellagio.
And it's all
MGM
to
Grand
music and pyrotechnics and this and that. It's a spectacle. 11. It's a real spectacle. Yeah. It's an incredible place
and
to
obviously
see.
there's a darker underbelly to it as well that's in your face as well.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to go and bet and do all those silly things, but
or get into the...
You can just go and just be around it, experience it like we did, and,
Is it like you
we
can
stayed
do
a night there, right?
A lot of places to eat, I guess you can do that. We haven't really explored Vegas in that sense, and there's a lot of shows that happen there. So it is a cool place, and people do life there. But we went there. We've been there a few times along the way on the road. And then we went all the way 4.5 hours to LA, and we finished there. I'll never forget that first night driving in, trying to get the bearings. And
it was a good feeling. I mean, I loved LA because I would obviously get away from the cold. The weather is always amazing there. But it was for you, you were getting in there, you were settling in, and if you found your groove again, and you had some good agents, and you had some great work, and so it was good. It was good to see you getting in there and watching you settle in. And for me, it was a bit of a break, bit of a holiday. If I needed to go into a gig, or I could just jump on a plane and off I go. But it was great just to get away from New York for a bit.
Yeah,
be with you, mate. It was great.
But that was it. That was our first New York to LA road trip, guys. And that was the one that really started to birth Jimmy Joe's. We went to diners along the way. Obviously, we forgot to mention on that trip.
Yeah.
And we met people, and we started to interact. We started to realize that we really loved being out on the road. Yeah. We were figuring out who we were on the road. We had a lot of spiritual moments on the road. Yeah. I feel like the quietness got us thinking. And
contemplation, eh?
Yeah, contemplating and asking those hard questions and daring to give honest answers, to yourself. That's so important, man.
Yeah.
Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I chasing what I'm chasing? Is it important? You know, does it matter? Is it meaningful? You know, is it really what I really want? You know, what do I really want? What am I looking for? You know, questions like that kind of leads to
I was going to say that actually.
our mental health segment, guys.
Yeah.
Very
Which is something
important
close to our heart. We love to do, and
for both
we
of us,
mentioned before we were youth workers back in Sydney, Australia. We're not, obviously don't know everything, or we're not claiming to be professionals or doctors or gurus or anything like that. Far from it. It's just life experiences, something that we've learned stuff along the way, and
we're still on the journey.
We're still
ourselves.
on the journey.
Absolutely. I think it's healthy to keep a perspective of that kind of perspective that there's always more to learn, you know?
Yeah.
I've always got things to learn, that kind of student mentality that what's life going to teach me today and what have I got to learn through this experience or this, even this disappointment, you know, this challenge.
It can motivate you. It really can. A challenge can
help
motivate
you figure out who you are. Yeah. Again, going back to our mental health corner segment of this podcast, last month we talked about not having to have it all figured out, you know, before taking that first step, and how clarity comes when you take steps. This one we want to talk about a little bit about, you know, finding out who you are. And I've got some notes here that I want to make sure I get out.
I'm still trying to work that out, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, we were talking about it earlier today. You're never going to know who you are completely. It's always a life journey, because who you are will change as you go through life and you age and you realize things as well. Yeah. Some of the things
lessons in life
of who you are and what you're doing and your whys at a certain time of your life might make sense at that time. Yeah. It might be okay.
In 10 years.
In 10 years, you might have a wife or a husband, kids. You might have a mortgage. You might have something else. You may have gone through some things and you change. You know, your priorities might shift. Your goals might change. Maybe you've achieved some things and you realize it wasn't all you wanted, or now you want to go off a different angle or a different tangent onto something else, explore another area. So we grow and we evolve, and therefore we change. So you're never going to figure yourself out and the job's done, the work's done. You should always be on a continual figuring yourself out journey.
Yeah, but growth comes from being stretched, and challenges do that.
But all right, when we're young, everyone asks, what do you want to be when you grow up? But very few people ask, who are you? Before you figure out what you're meant to do or what your calling is, what your career path should be, it helps to understand who you are. You know, some questions you might want to ask yourself, guys, and these are questions we've asked ourselves again. We're never going to talk about something we haven't done ourselves and that we aren't continually doing ourselves, even at our ages. Yeah. So, but, you know, what interests you guys? What energizes you? What kind of work do you naturally enjoy?
What do you gravitate to? Right?
Yeah.
Like
what are your
makes
strengths
you come alive?
even?
Yeah.
And what are your weaknesses? Do you know these things? Yeah. What do you find yourself leaning towards? You know,
these are good clues. You know, determining
exactly
the direction.
Especially when we talk about figuring out our direction in life, I guess it's hard not to chuck in there like our career path, right? What are we going to do with our time on this earth? How are we going to make a living? How are we going to pay the bills? Work,
chunk
right?
Of your
what
life.
Work should we do, you know? And I think not everyone, I guess, is going to be able to completely love their job or not everyone. I'm saying some people might completely love their job. That doesn't mean it never comes with challenges and they love it all the time. I could say we love our job.
Yeah.
And I know like I just said, not everyone gets to do that. And we are so grateful that we are in a position in life right now where we are currently loving what we're doing. Yeah. And it took time to find this, guys. And we didn't know when we started that it would be that as well. But we are really loving this journey. we still have a big vision for it, but not everyone finds, you might not find exactly something you love. And even though we found what we love, it's come with challenges. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah, exactly.
And it hasn't been easy, and we've had some down days. But even if you don't find something you completely love, at least find something that you enjoy, that you're at least naturally wired for. If you're not wired to be like a lawyer, if you don't like confrontation, if you're not naturally wired for confrontation, for research, if you're not naturally wired to be, for instance, a detail-oriented person probably, or good with your memory, then like there's certain jobs you're not going to be good at, like a lawyer. Or if you're queasy with seeing blood and the body, maybe don't try and be a doctor because it's going to be tough for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's for sure.
Simple, like things like that. If you're not good with people and, maybe you struggle to be empathetic and sympathetic, then maybe don't become
as
a
long
nurse.
as you're not pathetic.
Sorry. Or you could become that.
Or you could,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you're trying to be a nurse and you're not
Yeah.
sympathetic, that could be pathetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
right. But so what we're trying to say, guys, is at least try and find something that you enjoy doing. And how do you find out what you're wired for, what you enjoy doing? Obviously, you got to give things a go. You got to ask yourself these questions. Well, your mind, your heart is already telling you things. What are you being gravitated towards? Give things a go. Give things a try. Research about that job.
There's those great tests too, right, Jay?
Personality tests, guys.
Yes. Who's that company?
Myers-Briggs has a really good one. The 16 personality types.
Myers-Briggs, guys.
Do the test, guys. Try to answer the questions as honestly as you can, and it'll give you a rundown. There's ones you can pay for, but there's free ones, and you don't need to pay for really anything. If you want to go into a deeper dive, you might want to do a paid one, and it'll tell you jobs you should avoid, jobs you could look into that are suited to your personality type, and then obviously give some a go. You might need to study the course. You might hate it, guys.
Yeah.
But you get clarity, man. And you start to know more about yourself. Going back to that point, figure out who you are, guys, because if you do that, and by figuring out who you are, you can figure out what you like to do, what you're wired to do, and then you can maybe end up doing something that brings you at least some enjoyment.
Any time spent researching about yourself is never wasted time, right?
Yeah, there's books, guys. Just trying to pay attention to patterns in your life, or people saying things to you. You'd be good at that, or you're so good with your hands, man, or you're so creative, or
You'd be surprised what's hidden inside
people
of
are probably giving you hints as well.
Yeah, and you probably know it. You're just either too scared to give it a go, or you put yourself down and just try it. You'll be surprised.
If you can find a job that you at least enjoy, guys, and are wired for, I think it's going to make your life a lot easier and a lot happier.
If you can't find that job, perhaps make one. Or
it might be a job that you need to create.
Yeah, create one. Make
there might be
start your own thing
waiting for you to step into. Look, we can continue going on about this point. We're so passionate about it. If you have any questions, feel free to write to us, guys, and we will do our best. Look, we have a busy schedule, and we can't always get back to everyone on time, but we do endeavor to get back to everyone. If you have something you want to dig deeper on that, or you have a question, let us know, guys.
Yeah, email us at jimajoes@outlook.com, guys. And
be better.
Yeah.
If you do it via email. Just key idea, guys, curiosity about yourself, again, is not wasted time. It is research.
That's right.
And the goal isn't finding the perfect job. The goal is finding alignment.
Yes. That is a great one. I love that. Alignment is it's something special if you can find it.
Alignment.
Yeah.
Being aligned with the work you're doing, It's not the perfect job. It might not be the dream job.
But just find something that you can connect. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing a job you're not wired for.
Yeah.
It's painful, guys. You don't need it.
Look, if you're doing it for a season, that's okay, isn't it?
Of course. There are seasons sometimes where you're building towards that goal, that dream job, maybe because you figured it out. You've figured out what that is and you're working towards, and you might have to do some seasons. That's cool, guys.
I
unless
did
it's
that a
getting
lot
to
in the music too, and in the acting. You're
yeah,
doing
we didn't just
music, and then you're doing side jobs to try and stay
survive
afloat and
doing
survive.
doing the
you know.
professional gigs, guys.
Sometimes you
So,
get a couple of years doing great in it, then you're not, and you're back to doing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
and constantly check in. Am I still happy? Maybe you loved it for 5 years, 10 years now. You've been changing. You like we were questioning the paths we were pursuing with acting and music,
Yeah.
and we weren't getting so much fulfillment and joy from it as much as we used to. And we started to be open to something else.
Yeah.
It took a few years.
We weren't at first. We
Nah.
weren't open to any change.
Oh
And
man! But
it
we
wasn't-
prayed for something.
Yeah. It wasn't until we decided to try it, and we were kind of almost forced into it with COVID, but we made that decision, and it's okay. I finally realized that it's okay to do something different, to do something,
Yeah,
to
don't
take-
base your whole identity on what
No.
you do either. That's another topic, guys. We'll
well,
go into something like that
we
eventually
have
as well.
to. Yeah.
But again, guys, when your interests, strengths, personality, and work begin lining up, life starts making more sense. We've felt that to be true.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
final takeaway:
Next time.
don't ask, what should I do with my life? Ask, what makes me come alive? What am I curious about? What keeps pulling me in? What strengths keep showing up? All right, guys.
Keep asking yourselves these things, guys, and keep
Yeah.
searching.
Awesome.
Wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It
Yeah.
is.
All right, guys. Q&A. We're going to wrap this
Yes.
one up. We've gone a bit long. Well, we've got some good questions here today. We were going to take on 3. Should we take on 2 today? Yeah, we'll leave one for next month, and we'll take on a couple more next month. So,
Great.
question 1. Have you ever felt completely lost? And how did you find direction again? This is kind of tied to what we've been talking about today.
We can wrap this one up because we've experienced it.
Yeah, we have been lost, guys. And if
Yeah.
you're feeling lost right now,
Yeah.
that's okay. It's a normal part of life.
Very normal.
How did we get
do your
direction
work.
again? I've written some points here. Some of the things we did. Look, sometimes I needed to get out of certain places I was in. I had to move. If it got to a point where I needed to make a change, I felt it in my spirit. I wasn't happy. I would maybe stop doing the job I was doing. I'd stop the routine. I'd leave where I was. If I could slow down, not so dramatically, I would do that first, and just to get a bit of slowness back, slowing life down, and trying to be thoughtful, and think about things.
They say there's this saying that we heard recently.
Cigar man.
The cigar man. It's like a man ought to slow down.
And be thoughtful.
He has a better accent, but
Man, we gotta slow down and be thoughtful. But we do. We need to slow down. We got to be thoughtful.
great
But that
saying.
helped. Prayer helped, guys. Opening up our hearts to God.
yeah, big player in our
journaling.
lives. Yeah,
We're big fans of keeping a journal, writing down what you're feeling and why you think you're feeling these things, and what's making you feel negative, and why, and asking yourself again these questions: what do I want in life? Why am I pursuing what I'm pursuing? What else could there be? These are great questions to ask. Don't be scared to ask these questions and to answer honestly. We allowed ourselves to dream again.
yeah.
Again,
the thing
part
is
of the
as well,
slowing down was allowing ourselves to dream.
we felt lost in certain times, and which we'll get into a segment maybe next month. But it's that we put our identity in a lot of what we were doing, but we'll come to that. And so to
We don't
answer
want
that
to deep
question,
dive into that
we
now.
were lost,
But we were
many
lost.
times.
And things that helped us get out of it, it was praying, allowing ourselves to dream still, guys,
Yeah.
Journaling what we were going through, where we wanted to be, and asking those questions, getting out of certain places or jobs that we were done with, just
Making
to give
some
ourselves
decisions, cleaning
time
up
to
things.
breathe, Times we went back home,
Yeah, it was okay to reset,
went back to where we knew,
even
got
if
a
it felt
job
like
back
going
home.
backwards.
Just felt like we were going backwards at times, but allowed us to take a step back and refocus and realign. It's so important to not just go onto a flow of life and never get off it, you know, and just end up spat out somewhere
Analyze.
where most likely you might not want to be, you know. It's too sad. Life's too short, guys. Like really, man, doesn't have to be that way, you know. We said we asked ourselves, like I said, what do I enjoy? What am I chasing? Why is it important? You know? Yeah. And we kept trying things and we kept taking risks. That's how we got through those phases. Hey, Steve.
Absolutely.
Number 2.
All right.
What's something you believed would make you happy when you were younger, but later realized wasn't the answer? You know, big one.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think one as men, we can all relate with, and I think a lot of men can relate with. You think having that girl or having that relationship would make you happy, having that type of girl or blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's definitely not the answer. And even for the women, having that guy or being with that type of guy, or once I found this type of dude or man, whatever. Yeah. I don't think we should put our hopes and our strength definitely in these things, you know. I've got here, you know, we were chasing things like recognition and validation at times. I know I was.
Yeah. Especially early on in your career, and especially in the art scene anyway.
I think a lot of creative people are probably seeking are naturally maybe drawn to that.
Good enough, seeking, and like that, validation, you know.
Yeah, drawn to maybe being a little melancholy and a little sensitive, and hence the reason why they feel things deeper and they make music or painting or write scripts or write books or whatever, you know, and do things creative. But it can be a blessing, that, and it can be a curse, you know, when you let that sensitivity eat you up and you're
not managing it, you know, it controls you.
Yeah, you're seeking to get your strength and validation and identity, again, that big one, identity in other things like a woman or a career or a status or validation from others, you know. Again, all points will go into as we continue with these mental health segments, guys.
Do what you do it good, and just know deep down what you're doing. If you're doing it at a higher level, then that's fine. You know what you're doing. You don't need that validation from people, you know. Just put the work in and do what you've got to do.
Do your best, you know.
Yeah.
Especially, I think this message really would land with a lot of people, but especially with always the youth in any generation, but especially this generation with all of the social media and the noise, hey, and everyone posting their lives
that's a tough one.
Videos and pictures, and you might feel like, you know, I got to keep up too, and I got to look good too, and I got to show that I'm.
What do they call that? You're always seeing that happy reel or something.
The
highlight reel. That's all you see of people, you know, and it's not a true picture, you know.
One thing we want to try and do with this talk is to not push the highlight reel, but this is real talk time for us. Again, we're like we said in the beginning, we want this to feel like it's
you're sitting with us.
Yeah, we're having a campfire. We're having a real talk, you know. We could be your big brother or your mate.
Get the marshmallow and the stick out. And
that's it, mate.
We've got to get a pretend fire or something in here, Jay.
I'm down to have s'mores while we do a podcast.
Oh, I'm down for
the real ones.
Yeah.
With the
all right. Let's see what we can come up with.
Cookie and the full fire and
graham crackers.
Graham cracker with the chocolate.
The Hershey chocolate bar.
And the marshmallow.
We've got to do that ice cream again. Who wants that back?
The s'mores ice cream.
The s'mores ice cream.
If you want s'mores ice cream back, guys, leave us a comment.
Who likes Rocky Road out there? Anyone Rocky Road fans?
I think we need to make. We've planned one called what was it? On the Rocky Road. Yeah, we'll play on the road.
Yes,
on the Rocky Road. It'll be similar to a s'mores, but way different.
On the road, that's Rocky.
That's right.
That's right.
Rocky Balboa.
Yes,
like the stairs we did in Philadelphia.
No, but we'll do that.
Random.
There's a few coming, guys. We've got some ideas. And like Jay mentioned earlier, we've got the Sunday coming and the New York Sunday. So that's going to be a beauty.
But just I want to round our question too, guys. Again, validation and everything. And one thing, you know, when we realized that these things weren't the answer, we're not going to say what the answer is yet, but we did mention talking about asking, why and what do I actually, why am I doing what I'm doing? What do I actually want to do? All right, guys. So, and making sure you're doing them for valid reasons. All right. I think
What
deep
makes
down
you
in your
happy.
heart and your gut if you are.
Yeah.
All right. We're not going to answer question 3 for now. But
That's us, mate.
I think that's us,
that's-
guys.
yeah,
Man,
we're
but
going
we love
over.
doing these. We keep wanting to go longer and longer, but I know
I hope you enjoy it, guys.
people's attention spans these days they're decreasing.
and watch it in snippets.
That's
How's
it. That's what we do with podcasts anyway.
Yeah. It's good.
If you had any enjoyment out of watching this, guys, you think you had some good eye openers in here? If we had some good eye openers in here, please share and like.
Yeah.
All these things help
Subscribe.
apparently. And
I think
subscribe
so.
and share
Send
it
us,
with friends.
any feedback or if you
Especially that. Any feedback and questions. Any questions you want us to tackle. The other one we were about to tackle was how do you stay motivated when things aren't going to plan? We'll take that on next time.
Yeah.
We love that. Awesome.
Cool.
All right, guys. Thanks a
you.
lot. We miss you.
Hope
We love you guys.
Hopefully by next one we're out there, guys. So
Could be.
God bless.
We're just about to get out. So
we love you. Speak to you soon.
ciao, guys.